I am Rick Sass. I'm a former president of TENS, and I am here today talking with Rob Slee about our April 16th TENS meeting conversation. We're going to have Rob as our speaker. And Rob, I'd like to start off by asking you to tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, first of all, thanks, Rick, for inviting me on this and for letting me speak to the group in April. I'm looking forward to that. I'm a guy who's from Toledo, Ohio originally. I grew up on a farm. I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina for 25 years. I'm an unusual fellow in that I don't describe easily. So I've owned almost 20 mid-sized businesses personally. I run and own a large investment banking firm in the middle market where we help represent sellers, represent buyers, and raise several $100 million a year for middle market companies. And 5 years ago, I started Midas Nation, which is really what I'll be talking about in April.
Very good. So your program for April 16th, the TENS meeting, is about Midas marketing. What exactly is Midas marketing, Rob?
It's the new way to market, especially small and middle market firms, to create extreme value in the company. So rather than just create a lifestyle, we'd like everyone in America who owns a business to have a great lifestyle and have a valuable business. And Midas marketing is the way to bring the market to you, amongst other things, for you to be able to, for owners to be able to achieve that.
Okay. So what's the payoff for doing Midas marketing?
It's a behavioral change more than anything. What we've seen is that most owners are still in the linear sort of world that they've been in for the last 20 years, where they go out and knock on one door at a time, and hopefully somebody will answer, a prospective customer, that they try to close that customer. Rather than do that, we're nicheaholics. And so what we do is form niches in these companies and then bring the whole market niche to the niche. So it's a pull marketing, which is totally opposite, obviously, of the old-fashioned push market.
Okay. Can anyone become a Midas manager?
I had a book that came out 3 years ago called Midas Managers as well. And in the period between Midas Managers and Midas Marketing, I had an evolution of thought, and let's hope that always continues. Let's hope I never stop thinking. And what we learned was now, instead of trying to make people Midas Managers, where life's battlefield kind of does that, what we do now is help people convert to value architects. And most of my talk, by the way, in April will be on how we all, and the answer is yes, we all can become a value architect, where we design compelling value propositions. And you don't have to own a firm to do this, by the way. I mean, we all need to go through life adding value to everything we do. And so the book really is about how to learn to become a value architect and design and deliver compelling value propositions.
Okay, so what should an entrepreneur or business executive do to be a Midas manager?
What we've learned is that they first of all have to think in terms of niches, because we're all relatively small. I mean, none of us are running IBM, I don't think, in the audience. And so, I mean, and myself, I've always owned these sort of lower middle market businesses. And instead of trying to own a business that has a monolithic customer base and has just sort of one value proposition that you try to keep blowing out against the market, what we do is we like to have a firm that has 5 or 6 niches, each of varying size, but each has sustainability, high profitability, and takes very few employees. I hate to say it, I'm not solving America's employment problem. I'm solving business owners' wealth creation problem. And those two are at odds, I hate to say it. Because here's the metrics, and this is shocking to most people. Most people think this can't be. I can't see it any other way. The metrics for us are 2 to 3 million in sales and 700,000 in profits per employee. You see, most firms don't get a quarter of that because they're not set up right. They're not set up to get these sort of dynamics.
So you're looking for real entrepreneurs here, obviously.
They have to be willing. That's the behavioral change. They have to be willing to fail.
Absolutely.
So I wrote an article a while back, My Positive Relationship with Failure, because what happens is if you're unwilling to fail or you give up after the first or second or third round, well, then you're never going to be successful. Because where do niches really come from? It comes from you supplying some sort of product or service that nobody else has gone the distance on to figure out if, in fact, that would be acceptable. People quit early. So have a positive relationship with failure through life, and you'll succeed. Isn't that a paradox?
It's great, though. It's something we've been talking about at TENS for a while, so I'm glad to hear that. Well, it's been wonderful talking with you, Rob. We look forward to having you in April. I'm sure the TENS members will get a great deal out of your discussion. Thanks for joining us today.
No, thank you, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy it, and I'll enjoy being there.